We are... Live, the home of the Trailblazers in beautiful Portland, Oregon. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and two Hall of Famers. Doris Burke here at the table, and on the sideline, David Aldridge. Portland playing for the home crowd again tonight.
And I think it's an important game. They only faced this club twice this season, and you mentioned that loss in the first one. You hate to get swept in a season series.
That has to be in the back of their minds. Wow, James Harden putting a little sauce in the finish. Nicely done.
Talk about confidence. Greg, what do you think about Harden's quote from a couple of years ago when he said, "I'm not a system player, I am the system"?
Kevin, I laughed when I heard it because most guys couldn't say that. But Harden absolutely can. He's an elite scorer turned elite passer. Your offense has to orbit around him when he's on the floor.
Indiana moving the ball around. And stolen by Sharp. He lobs it up. They swipe it. Here's Harden. And the jam by Harden.
Okay, James Harden showing you I've still got the vertical in my bag of tricks.
And now, just over a minute played here in the first. Nembhard with it. Picked up by Turner. Pass to Sharp. 5 on the clock. To the inside. Pacers with the rebound. Harden looking it over. And there's the call on Matisse Thybulle. That is his first foul of the game.
First personal foul. First team foul.
Here is Harden. He's making his presence felt offensively with his scoring average up there at almost 13 points a game. A three-pointer, no good. Pass to Sharp. And it's out of bounds to Portland. They'll retain possession.
Great instinct from him to get a hand on that pass and tip it out.
And offensively, a little bit of a careless toss. You could have used a better angle on that pass.
Nembhard connects from three-point range. Nembhard's got 6.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Chauncey Billups and I got a chance to talk for a bit. I asked him about the challenge of facing Miles Turner. He said this guy is a problem for our offense. Miles is an incredible shot blocker. You have to know where he is on the floor at all times. Now, we don't normally hear a coach talk about somebody's defense first, but Turner is that guy. Ellis?
Okay, David, thanks. And Greg, we know the Pacers have to improve defensively, but where do they start?
Candidly, Kevin, I feel like they're too soft. Giving up offensive rebounds, cheap fouls, they've got to be tougher mentally and physically, especially on the interior.
A shot by Nembhard, no good. Indiana leading. Here's Turner. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
For Miles Turner, so much of this is about confidence. You love to see him convert in there. That is nice.
The Pacers shooting their first free throw tonight. You know, Doris, there's a notion that big men can take a little longer to develop. What have you seen from Miles Turner?
That he's turned himself into a complete basketball player, Kevin, and think there were years because he was playing alongside another big that he was out of position. But he can shoot the basketball with range, he's got strength, and he's a tremendous shot blocker. Well, a bit reckless right there. That's his second foul, and he can't afford to pick up a third.
A minute 50 left in the first quarter. Harden outside. 6 to shoot. That's 3-pointers off the mark. Portland trailing here. Here's Nembhard. 6 points for him. From the arc. Does not score with that shot. It's his second miss against 2 made shots. Harden inside the 3-point line. Rebounded by Isaac. We've got 1:13 left here in the first quarter. They set the pick. Lobbed up there for Isaac. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Siakam. 1:03 left in the first.
We heard the stories about Sharp and how impressive his vertical is. Now we see it on full display.
From deep, Harden. Count that as his 4th basket of the night. Just 7 shots to get there.
Well, this guy flat out carrying the load for them offensively. He is taking and making good shots. What a terrific job.
Oh, he really broke up that transition opportunity. Looks like it'll be a transition take foul. And he's got his first chance at the line here. Portland had, Greg, one of the great guard combinations in Clyde Drexler and Terry Porter.
Man, that was one heck of a backcourt. And they really complemented each other so well. Drexler with his explosive scoring ability and Porter who could just do a little bit of everything.
And Indiana making a change here. Here's Simons. And he makes that one.
Oh, gritty inside. Simons amongst the big bodies.
Spins. And it's sent back by Turner. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Trailblazers will retain possession. There's 31 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's Avdia.
In building this lead, they've done a terrific job finishing their defensive sequences with the backboard. That has been key.
Well, this is great defense from Miles Turner. High activity level, doesn't give up anything easy.
Here's Gay. There's the try. And finished off by Gay.
Adding to their advantage, trying to find a way to blow this one open.
One of the things they're doing is identifying favorable matchups and then going at them.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
The Trailblazers shooting their second and third free throws tonight. Good on both. 5 seconds left to play in the first. James Harden getting it done for Indiana. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. Right back after this break. And if you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter in this one. And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Pacers?
And guys, they've done a great job feeding their bigs inside. They are just punishing the opposition in the paint.
Yeah, and in addition, their ball movement has really unleashed their offense. Boy, they've been fun to watch.
It's been a few years now, Doris, but it feels like point guard is the position in the NBA.
Well, Kevin, we certainly have our share of great point guards. Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they seem to be in the MVP conversation consistently. But the last couple MVPs, you look back, you've got a couple of centers. For a long time, the small forward spot dominated the game. It's really something that's in constant flux.
Bangs home the trifecta. Shepard's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Such a reliable threat from range. You'd think the defense might key on him a little bit more.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Portland shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight. And the Pacers doors last season trading for Pascal Siakam to complement this hungry team.
And Kevin, it's important in a couple of ways. First of all, he's a 2-time All-Star who's got a championship pedigree. The other part of this is Indiana is an equal opportunity offense, so they want to share the basketball. But Pascal brings individual playmaking and shot making, and sometimes that's a must-have in this league.
Explosive in every way. The quick first step, and then you see the hop.
Simons surveying the D. There's the pick. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. And now approaching 2 minutes of action here in the second quarter. Stolen by Walker. And there's the whistle. That goes on Deni Avdija. That is his first foul of the game.
First team foul.
Simons on the wing. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Here's Klingon. And it's Portland with the rebound. They host the Kings after this game. Now Rivers. There's the lob to Avdija. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
Taking back the lead once more. Give these teams credit. Man, they are battling.
Neither team willing to give an inch, and neither able to seize the momentum. This has been a fascinating one to watch.
And that's some serious liftoff from Simons. Wow.
Here's Henderson driving the lane. Oh, he misses the dunk. Indiana leading. Here's Simons. Inside. Stolen by Avdija. And here we go. Fast break. Henderson's got it. About 3 minutes played so far in this second quarter. Outside Williams.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 2 minutes.
Just 5 on the clock. Lets a floater go.
Oh, can I get a load of that one? Take that play and put it in the alley-oop textbook, boys.
Perfectly done. You're right. He put it on a platter for him. Henderson. Stolen by Walker. Knocked loose. 1:29 left in the first half of the game. Kamare misses. Indiana leading by 3. Outside, Simons. Pass to Shepard. Traps in the tray.
Timeout.
Shepard's got 6 points.
And great job from beyond the arc this quarter. They are now shooting the 3 at almost 60% for the game.
So all teams changing it up here. And here's Portland. 1:05 left in the first half of basketball. And he lobs it up toward the rim. Stolen by Harden.
Nice job by James Harden to leap out and get an easy opportunity in transition.
Here's Nembhard. And he can't stop the run as he misses. And here's Gay. He'll bring it up for the Indiana Pacers. They lead by 8. That's the biggest of the game. For the 3. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. To the paint. Swiped it away. And up the court come the Pacers on the break. Lets it go from deep. Black, no good. And it's the Trailblazers on the break. Pass to Sharp. And then Sharp with the dunk.
Have to love the ball distribution. Keep everyone involved.
Harden outside. 1 second left. And that concludes the first half. Indiana out in front, up 6. And we'll be back right after halftime for the start of the third quarter. We'll see you in a bit. And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. It didn't take long for the Blazers to find Damian Lillard's heir apparent, did it, Greg?
Yeah, they drafted Scoot Henderson with the 3rd overall pick in 2023. Took him a little time to get his sea legs, but his talent is undeniable.
Pass to Gay. Back to Harden. Shot clock at 6. Was shot missing. Trailblazers trailed by 6. He lobs up the alley-oop pass. And then Sharp with the dunk.
And you could see him give a little nod and then just burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
A pair of teammates, Greg, with the terrific feel for each other. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That's his first foul. Nembhard with it. 6 points for him. And a missed layup.
It seemed like he changed his mind halfway through the layup, tried to go to something else, and flat out choked it.
And stolen by Thibault. Nembhard with it. Picked up by Turner. To the middle. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation. Pacers leading by 4. 90 seconds now into the second half. Turner with the screen. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And as James Harden enters his mid-30s, Doris, he's still able to put his fingerprints all over a game.
It's so true, Kevin. Rumors of his supposed demise have been greatly exaggerated. This guy's able to create shots for himself and his teammates at an elite level.
Back to Sharp. Here's Nembhard. Isaac trying to break free. Plays it up and banks it in. Nembhard's got his 3rd basket of the night right there. Harden outside. Clock at 6. And Siakam has it in the corner. Fades back. Harden. That's good. Harden's got 16 points.
And James Harden simply stated is putting it to the defense right now. Somebody has got to step up and get the ball out of his hand.
Nembhard's shot is good.
Such a multi-talented threat on the offensive end, and you love his confidence.
Harden left side. The rebound by Sharp.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
And he's going up for the alley-oop. And the dunk by Bamba.
Mo Bamba, no doubt.
Assisted by Andrew Nembhard.
Harden outside. Picked by Gay.
2 minutes remaining in the third.
Basket made. That gives him 7 field goals in 13 tries.
They didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time. Whoa, the solo alley-oop? That's not something we see too often.
Timed perfectly. Caught the defense totally off guard. And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks very much.
Time out.
James Harden is still a factor at age 35. He says, I'm more than a scorer, so for me, it's just impacting the game at the highest level. Kevin, he's led the league in scoring 3 times, but he's also led the league in assists. So it's pretty much true. Back to you.
Thank you, David. Oh, don't forget, he rebounds as well as any guard right now in the NBA. Turner with the screen. Siakam with it. Now Avdia defending. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Greg, in January 2024, Pascal Siakam was traded out of Toronto.
And he came into the league an older player from a mid-major school. The Raptors did a lot to help Siakam, turning him into an all-NBA caliber player.
I think the value of Pascal Siakam is the skill set on both ends of the floor. He can play multiple positions either end, and he can lift his team in any number of ways.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
Pass to Gay. And it's in there. Gay's got his second basket of the game. Trailblazers trailed by 3. Henderson attacking. And Scoot Henderson picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
Now, here's Simons. There's 39 seconds. Oh!
My goodness.
And how about the explosiveness of Simons? Man, can he get up and finish with power?
Oh, what a jam! Simons!
Oh, boy, Simons, that was nasty.
Henderson outside. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game. Here's Avdia. Off on the layup. Siakam outside. It's blocked. And so it's the Indiana Pacers heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. Their lead is where it is because they've gotten...
The Pacers, 45.
The fourth quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. And it's Harden with the ball for the Indiana Pacers. They lead by 7. After this game, they can look forward to L.A., where they'll match up against the Clippers. We're in the midst of a 4-game road trip right now. That'll be game number 3.
Substitution for the Pacers. Number 5, Jared Walker.
Kick out to Walker. Sinks the 3-pointer. Walker's got the lead up to 10 now for Indiana.
Fantastic look, but that's a bit redundant for James Harden.
Here's Avdia. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Harden outside. And he uses the glass on the layup. And now it's a 12-point Pacer lead.
They are just killing them on the interior.
And so Chauncey Billups calls for the timeout. And that timeout by Coach was carefully measured, wanting to make sure that everybody is on the same page here. And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Guys, during that last break, I listened to Chauncey Billups talk to his team. He tore into his guys. He said, your body language is awful right now. You don't even look like you want to play right now. Should I sub in for you? Where's the drive to win? Guys?
Thank you, David.
That's a double whammy, guys.
That's right. A great defensive play, then the emphatic stuff.
Let's see if that serves as a momentum builder. What a great sequence for this group.
Tries the spin move. And then Sharp with the dunk.
An exciting player coming into his own. We're seeing all of what Sharp has in this one.
Harden right side. That's down the hatch. Notch one more to his total. That's 9 for 15 shooting.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flames.
One thing I enjoy is watching players who don't pay attention to the score. You lock in on the moment and play the right way.
Harden draws the double. Pass to Walker. Harden outside. 5 to shoot. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Shaedon Sharpe picks one up.
The old phrase, he lives at the line. That is James Harden, folks.
And so he hits both.
An efficient night from the line. This is a guy who puts in the work and it pays dividends.
Pass to Nembhard. Back to Sharpe. It's Nembhard on the wing. From outside, off the mark. Indiana leading by 16. Harden left side.
2 minutes in the game.
There's 1:59 left in the fourth quarter. Over Thibault. Harden's shot is off.
Well, he's a quality mid-range shooter, but he can't get that one to go.
And that one's good. Thibault.
You have to have the vision to find the open man. Beautiful pass.
Harden outside. Outside, Walker. And so the ball goes out of bounds. Isaac touched it last.
Indiana ball.
And so it's Indiana with it. From deep, Harden. The rebound by Sharpe. Trailblazers trailed by 14. Here's Isaac. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
First personal.
Well, Doris, both you and I have been covering this NBA for a few years. Just a few years. What do you think of the direction of the league right now?
Just a couple, Kevin. I love it. The league is faster, it's longer, it's more skilled. Scoring is up. There's a crop of young stars. I think the league is in such an exciting place.
Harden, no good.
Well, defensively, if you allow him to get this close, you're playing with fire. He just happened to miss that one.
No question as to which team gave the better effort tonight. A dominant performance and an outstanding win for the Pacers.
They found a great rhythm from long range.
Yeah, Kevin, every time they left a man open deep, he'd get a good shot at the basket. Didn't hesitate, and that aggression paid off.
And for the year now, they'll be tallying their 16th win.
A 2-game season series. They win them both and complete the sweep.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for James Harden.
This guy has been shot-making all night long. He commands the rock and takes over.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Throws it up high. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down. They get a hand on it. And stolen by Thibault. And there's the drive. So it's Indiana picking up the win. They seem to relish their role as the bad guy here tonight.
You know, Kevin, I sense that